about a week ago, we just finished wrap on No Self's first ever music video. First time that my company actually got to go out and we wanted to cross over and do metal music. It's something that I've always wanted to do since we started this. And they were, they gave us that chance.
Yeah.
And we was turned down. We was turned down by a lot of different bands. And we've asked, and it's like, look, can we come out? Can we shoot you? Can we do this? I don't know if they was nervous or didn't know what we was gonna bring to the table, and they all said no. No Self gave us that chance, and glad that they did. They recently just got signed to a record label. They told us the first day of shooting, which was like, oh, now it's panic mode. It's like, now a lot more people are gonna be seeing this, so it's like, now I gotta present myself not only business wise, but the visuals have to be on, and it's very important. This band just got signed. I don't want to mess that up with this video. So it's like, man, the pressure just went from to here. Honestly, it felt, even bringing my team out on the set, like I felt like I was on a real production for the first time. I know I've done short films and I did a feature, and it was like, okay, it's 100% my control. Everybody's coming to me, well, you're the boss, what do we need to do? And it's like, whoa, now I really am a filmmaker. Like, that's the overwhelming part of it. And it was like, I had my lighting tech out there, Joe Rothenberger, who also works with you guys. And, he was out there, he was setting it. I had Chuck as my grip and gaffer, and he was out there and setting up lights. We was looking at shots, checking out color profile and how this is gonna work, color temperature. And it was like, man, it felt the most real it's ever felt. And I was like, I know once we get done with this video, with all the prep and, everything that we did on it, I knew at the end result, what we was gonna get was gonna be beautiful. And it was just watching everybody else work together. Because a lot of people, when they're making these films, they all look, oh, it's the director that made this, oh, it's the cinematographer. But if you take a step back, it's the people behind the camera that made that possible, made that happen.
Yeah.
That's why I'm glad I started doing behind the scenes videos, so I can show off my team. It's not just me doing that. It's a group of people making that happen.
Right.
And the clients, they loved it better, because when we first talked to No Self, they thought it was just me coming out with a camera. I show up on set and we got a whole full crew. My clients they was like, well, now we really got to perform. Good, now you're going to perform even better, because you got all these people working behind you, pushing you to do this, do that. It was a beautiful thing. It really was. As a child, I knew I was this big couch potato and I love movies. I used to get in so much trouble for stealing my mother's camcorder. You don't know how many beatings I took over that thing. Because I come from a very, very poor family. And camcorders back then, in the early 80s, they were very, very expensive. My mother bought an RCA VHS camcorder. And it was almost, to say, probably the most expensive thing in the house. And it was off limits. This was for family occasions, family videos, don't touch. No. Travis wanted to grab that and create. Adam Green is a big influence on me, along with Kevin Smith. Adam Green had this talk show called The Movie Crib. And it was all the insides and outs of Hollywood. He's still an independent director to this day. Great horror movies. Hatchet is one of my all-time cult. When I see it, it's like, dude, this guy just, he did everything on his own and created this. And then I was like, all right. So I watched this and I started listening. And then one day, his partner Joe Lynch just said, look, you want to be a filmmaker? Get off your ass, pick up a camera, and go do it. And that snapped in my head. I was like, all these times I was talking about, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. All I was doing was talking. I wasn't doing nothing. I was just like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. About 4 years ago, me and my brother sat down, and originally SFN was gonna be my brother was gonna be the writer because he self publishes books. He was gonna write these horror shorts. Uh, I was gonna somehow save up money to get a camera, and we were just gonna start filming it. Needless to say, his career took off in a different way, and it was just me. So I was like, crap, now I got all this money that I've saved up to buy this equipment. What am I gonna do? Um, I had to reverse everything. I sunk my money into a GoPro. I started showing up at clubs holding this little GoPro, no rig, no nothing. And I started filming musicians. And I was like, all right, now this is gonna teach me how to film and how to, how to just create and edit. And I would go into the club and people would look at me so funny because I'm standing in a club now. And any filmmaker knows it's hard enough to get your shots and you get your lights up, but you're on a GoPro with a little like almost 1.5, 2 inch screen, and you're trying to make sure that you got your shots and your composition and everything is right. And you're, oh shit, he moved. So it was fun to learn. I ended up bumping into some friends of mine who actually we're kind of in business with now with Red Room Sound Studios. They was running everything out of their house just like I was. Yeah. And Malcolm come to me and he asked me, he's like, bro, I got this crazy song. It's called Crack Around the Edge. You want to do a music video to it? I was like, shit, I can do that. That's no problem. Didn't know what I was doing. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know, man. I was like, shit. So I went to YouTube and I was like, man, I ain't never been to film school. I don't know what I'm doing. Watched movies my whole life. I pretty much got the gist of it. YouTube University took me all the way through. I ain't gonna lie. That is my filming 101 secrets. Everything was learned on YouTube. But I treated it as I was in school. I treated it like I was in a class. Every day I would come home from work, I would sit anywhere from 2 to 4 hours in front of this, writing charts, writing notes, doing it for a week. At the end of the week, I drew up tests, and I would watch a movie and with no sound. And I'm writing, I had questions, writing answers. How did they do this shot? When did the lighting come in? All right, what's going on here? And then the only way I could really quiz myself was take the Blu-ray, go on to special features, and all right, let's see if I was right. Let's see if they shot this shot like this. Let's see if they did it like that. And I started learning and learning and learning. And that was just what worked for me. I can't say it'll work for everybody, but it's what worked for me. The biggest goal that I have is to take this company and probably have one of the biggest production companies around. And it's not just for filming. I want soundstage. I want FX. I want everything under one room. Sort of like how George Lucas does all his. You know, it's like you go out to Lucas Ranch or Lucas Farms, and it's all there. You don't have to go anywhere. You can shoot movies. You can, do video games. You can do all this stuff. In production, I want to touch everything. Right now, I know I got to start, and I'm still at the bottom. I still consider myself at the bottom. I don't think, honestly, it don't feel like I've made that much progress. But looking back, it's like, whoa. A few years ago, I was in a club, and then all of a sudden, I started making music videos. The music videos led to me auditioning and shoot a feature. We shot it. I like it, but then again, it was like, okay, this was my film school too. I was on set, on hand locations. I wasn't sitting in a classroom wasting money. I was educating myself at every moment of the time. The end product come out, it was nothing that, nothing to brag about, but guess what? We made a movie. We did it with no budget. We come together and, put out a product. Did everybody get to see that product? No. But from moving forward to where I'm at now people are starting to look at my work and be like, whoa, where'd you come from? When did you start doing this? I've been doing this. You just haven't noticed before. Now you see me in a different light. You recognize me as a filmmaker, and it's an amazing feeling. This is what I want forever. I want to do these videos. I want to do commercials, but not just to make a business out of it. That part is going to be my funding goals. when I make my feature films and when I make my movies, I don't want to have to beg, borrow, and steal. I want to take money from my company, invest it back in, and make my films that way.
Yeah.
Total independent route. I mean, it'd be nice to get a studio picture. It really would. That's not my main goals. I want to be a filmmaker, and if I got to be poor and starving or whatever it takes, I'll be happy with that, because I know eventually someone's gonna see that film and someone's gonna love that film and take it. You know,
Yeah.
some of my greatest films and movies that I watch are made by independent artists. They're not the most richest directors and cinematographers out there, but they're making a living at what they love to do.
Yeah.
That's a success. The little bit that I've done in 3 years, it's a success. It might not be a big success, but it's a success. Music video wise, it would have to be the No Self music video. Um, it was
Yeah,
a
it's not bad.
it was a big accomplishment for me. Um, I still use part of it was DSLR, but I also got into, hey man, you can't afford the big fancy equipment. Let's go rent it. Let's do what the other production companies do.
Yeah.
So we went out and rented a DJI Osmo. I watched a show. It's Film Riot with Ryan Connolly, and he talks about different ways to make movies on low budget, different ways to shoot on low budget, and I seen him use this product, and I was like, wow, all right, this guy's doing this for an action scene. Let's shoot a music video with it.
Yeah.
It can be done. If he's able to do it for this on a low budget feature, I can do it on a low budget music video and make it look amazing. It was a gift presented to me from No Self at the end of the video. They presented me that and a couple of T-shirts, one for my fiance and then one for me. I'm gonna let the band know I'm a little chunky, so the extra large I couldn't wear it, or I would probably be rocking it during this interview.
There you go.
It's goal orientated, guys. So I'm gonna lose some weight, and I'm gonna try to fit
Okay.
into it. If not, 2X next time. I'm just saying. But no, it was more than I could expected for the band. I even told them when they presented it to me at the end, I was like, you guys didn't have to do this. You didn't have to, and they looked at me and said, you didn't have to go above and beyond for this project. You didn't have to bring all these people out here. You didn't have to do all this, but you did it. So, I mean, I took it back and it was like, this right here is better than any trophy or any award I can get from a film.
Yeah.
This is going to go on my wall in my